We are not issuing marriage licenses today. So
Based on what?
I would ask you all to
Why are you not
go ahead
issuing
and
marriage licenses today?
Because I'm not.
Under
Why?
whose authority are
Whose
you not
authority?
issuing
Under
licenses?
God's authority.
A stunning twist today in the story of Defiant Kentucky court clerk Kim Davis. As a judge, a George W. Bush appointee not only holds her in contempt for refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples, but actually sends her to jail. It was a step beyond what even the prosecution had asked for, and it is unclear when Davis will be released, since it effectively depends on her agreeing to issue those licenses, which she says would be in direct conflict with her Christian faith. And while Davis's critics were cheering over today's decision, Davis is seeing growing support from some very high-profile places, including from our next guest, Texas Senator and Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz. Your reaction to this,
Megan,
because
it's always good to be with you.
It's good to see you, because some of the Republican candidates like Carly Fiorina came out today and said that you're going to work for the government, you got to do the government's will, and she said this is not appropriate by Ms. Davis.
Well, what happened today is an outrage. It is fundamentally wrong. For the first time, we're seeing a Christian woman thrown in jail for standing up for her faith. I'll tell you, I stand with Kim Davis, unequivocally. I stand with her and anyone else that the government is trying to persecute for standing up for their faith. This is fundamentally wrong, and it's inconsistent with the First Amendment of the Constitution. We are a nation that was formed by people fleeing religious oppression and coming to seek a land where we could worship free of the government getting in the way. And it is stunning what is happening here.
Here's what the
I
other
would
side
also
says.
point
I'm
out,
sorry,
Megan.
I apologize that you're done. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The other side says that...
Well, I was going to...
Sorry, our satellite delay. So the other side says that she can exercise her faith, but she shouldn't be in this role. Her job is to issue marriage licenses, so it's an impossibility. She can't just not issue them now that they're legal.
Well, but that's fundamentally wrong. The consequence of that statement, that standard, is that Christians can't hold public office, or if they do, they must be willing to violate their faith or go to jail. That is not America. That is not how this country works. And let me point out to all the politicians, both Democrats and Republicans, who are tut-tutting that if Ms. Davis doesn't want to follow this lawless judicial decree from the Supreme Court, that she should resign her office. Well, where have those voices been calling for the mayor of San Francisco to resign, who has declared San Francisco a sanctuary city, defying immigration laws? American citizens have been murdered by violent criminal illegal aliens because of the mayor's violation of the law. Or where are those voices calling for President Obama to resign? For 6.5 years, he has defied the law, immigration law. He has defied welfare reform laws. He's even defied his own Obamacare. When the mayor of San Francisco and President Obama resign, then we can talk about Kim Davis.
Well,
and yet all the
it's been interesting because the White House came out today and said no public official is above the law. And yet, you had people online saying, well, what about the Attorney General of California, who has allowed the sanctuary city of San Francisco to stand unchallenged and so on? Yeah. And yet, let me ask you about this, because one of the most persuasive points I think her detractors have is the Kentucky clerk is that she was apparently offered, according to the New York Times, the chance to just have her deputies do it. She wouldn't have to do it. Now it would have to be under her authority. She'd have to allow them. And the deputies were prepared to do it, to issue the licenses. And she said no to that. So what are they supposed to do? What are same-sex couples supposed to do if you've got, the head clerk saying no one can do it because of my religious beliefs?
Well, but Megan, that's not right under Kentucky law. Number one, her name would be on it regardless, and she's saying it's inconsistent with her faith to put her name to it, to being part of it. Now, I would point out that under Kentucky law, individuals can go in any other county and get married, but beyond that, listen, this decision from the Supreme Court on marriage was fundamentally illegitimate. Chief Justice Roberts observed in dissent quite powerfully, this is not connected to the Constitution. This is not from the Constitution. And Justice Scalia, let me observe every viewer. I'll recommend for every one of your viewers to read Justice Scalia's powerful dissent, where he predicted this marriage decision was so lawless, was so much judicial activism, that state and local officials could be expected to defy it. That's what Justice Scalia said. Now, all the commentators are saying they're shocked that she's doing exactly what Justice Scalia said. It's not the job, as Justice Scalia said, of 5 unelected lawyers to be the rulers of 320 million Americans and to claim illegitimately the authority to strike down the marriage laws of all 50 states. That is lawless.
Right now, that is the law of the land, and Kim Davis sits in a jail for an undetermined amount of time. Senator Cruz, thank you tonight. Great to see you.
Thank you, Megan. Great to be with you.
Coming up, Taylor Swift facing some serious backlash over her latest video. Brian Kilmeade is here on what has people so upset. Plus, is someone trying to sell hacked Hillary Clinton emails on the black market? There's a new twist on this report and new developments with the Clinton staffer, who is now saying he will plead the Fifth Amendment when he is asked about her server. Unbelievable stuff, and Shannon Coffin is here next.
I did not send classified material, and I did not receive any material that was marked or designated classified, which is the way you know whether something is.